We can never thank Allah enough. Alhamdulillahi alladhi hadana lihada wa ma kunna linahtadiya lawla an hadana Allah. We thank Allah for guiding us to this part. We know that we wouldn't have been guided if not that Allah has chosen us to be guided. Àbí Ọlọ́run bá pé opportunity tọ́lọ́run fún wa kọ́lọ́run dákun kó má jẹ́ àṣìlò. Allahumma ameen. So we are having a somewhat different conversation today, inshallah. And it's going to be, we are hoping that it's going to be an interesting one. I will be sharing my screen now. And please let me know if you can see the screen I'm sharing. So today is one of those days where we'll do a slide deck presentation. Let's see. So we got this one here. Share. Yep. All participants. Okay. Please let me know once you can see my screen sharing. Start sharing. Someone is sharing. So screen. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it is now.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Is the session being recorded?
Yes, it's live on YouTube.
Live, alhamdulillah, because I know this is something that's,
We see your screen.
Thank you. A number of parents would benefit from, and those who are not.
It is not recorded here.
So it is on YouTube. So so the way it's set up is that once it's live streaming, it gets automatically recorded on our channel.
Yeah.
So I think that takes care of that, and it also helps.
It does.
Yeah, thank you. I think it helps also manage the space, the storage capacity for Zoom. So we thank Almighty Allah once again. What we want to discuss today is back to school preparation. And brothers and sisters, please, I would like us to get engaged. I want us to be in an engaging conversation. The last time we had this discussion was 3 years ago. That was 2022. And a few things have changed since that time. So this slide deck might be a little bit different than that one, but it's still the same concept. We want to talk about what are the things we should prepare for. And the goal of this presentation, like as we can see here, is to prepare ourselves and our children for this new school session, inshallah, with confidence, with balance, and with support from one another. So the discussion, this is the outline of the discussion. We're going to do a quick check-in, and then we'll talk about academic readiness, emotional and social support, Islamic identities and values, parental well-being, and community support, inshallah. So I mentioned that, I would like us to make this interactive as possible. But at the same time, I also want to appeal to us that when we are providing our contributions, let us provide short answers so that we can also allow others to contribute. We would also not want to stretch the time of the session with too long. Inshallah, if we can get this done in 1 hour or even 45 minutes, may Allah make it easy for us. So we want to do a quick check-in here, and I would like our responses, brothers and sisters. Because I'm sharing my screen, I may not be able to read what we're posting in the chats. If anyone wants to talk, please just unmute your mic. How do you feel about the new session? In one word. Maybe I shouldn't even have put these words there. Just, are you excited? Are you nervous? Are you overwhelmed? Are you hopeful? Are you happy? So Abu Amira, are you able to read the chats, or Sister Hajar, if you can read the chats, in case people are typing how they feel about the new session that is starting?
Okay, now it doesn't seem Sister Ajar is around, available, but I will try as much as I can.
Thank you, sir.
Inshallah.
So we can start with you, sir. How are you feeling about the school that is starting, this new session starting next week? I'll be in upper week then.
I'm feeling good for school.
Oh,
Me too.
of course, kids will they'll be feeling excited, except if you're having too much fun and then you feel like, well, I don't want to go back to school. How about the parents? Let the parents talk.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Alhamdulillah, we are feeling, I in particular, I'm feeling hopeful. And inshallah, I know the kids will give their best and Allah will grant their efforts.
Inshallah. How many school sessions have you done in Canada?
6 weeks.
So this is the first time you're starting the session, a new session with, in Canada.
Yes, inshallah.
Inshallah. Sorry, I can't see the person. Who is the person talking?
My name is Fatima and I'm in Brandon.
MashaAllah, Sister Fatima. May Allah bless your kids and all our kids. Allah So you said you're feeling hopeful, right?
Yes.
MashaAllah, good one.
Alhamdulillah.
Brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers, how are you feeling?
I feel kind of nervous.
Nervous. May I know why? We're going to talk about why, because why, kids will feel nervous, because we also want to look at it from the perspective of the kids too. But can you just say a word, the reason why you're feeling nervous? Okay, don't worry. We'll talk about some of those things, inshallah. Okay. So I think the parents are shy.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Alaikum salam.
I would say maybe for me, still thinking of the logistics of the school activities, keeping the kids informed, so willing to go to school, bringing them back. So more of on the logistics aspect of it is where the overwhelming could be.
So if we can use the one word, we will say your own. Overwhelmed, exactly.
So I say too much.
Abu Aisha Ramon, I'll start calling names now. How are you feeling about the school resumption?
I'm excited.
Because the kids will be off.
No, because most time I have to stay with them, engage them.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I know.
they will just burn all the time.
Aisha,
and then being around too. Anyway, we get to know ourselves better than
yes.
Just going to school, coming back, just do your assignment, do your Islamia. So now you can listen to what they discuss.
It's an
Listen,
opportunity
you know
to
how their area of interest, how intelligent they are, how they can respond to discussion, how they can present their case, arguing among themselves. Okay, I want this. You have to do this. I said, no, present your case. Well, you have to convince the other person why
but
do what you want.
It doesn't. So if that is the whole case, let's go back to the one word. But you're feeling excited still.
Yes. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm going back to school.
You. Dr. Akim Aziz, how are you feeling for the school resumption?
One word.
Yes, sir.
Bukata po.
Overwhelmed. Ọlọ́run á ṣe rọrùn. Aisha Oyakida, how are you feeling? One word. Sister Dr.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
I think I'm also feeling overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. Ọlọ́run ó kún wa.
Amen.
Dr. Rahima, how are you feeling? School is resuming in the next than 2 weeks now. Abu Sumaya, how are you feeling? School resumption.
My feeling is not mapped in those things.
Yeah,
I am in and out of
in and out.
all those. Excited, nervous.
Oh, mixed feelings.
It's mixed.
MashaAllah. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of what we want to discuss today, inshallah. So we want to first start to look at it from the academic readiness point of view. How do we get ready? The first thing we want to talk about is let us, start preparing from the routines perspective. We want to start planning bedtime and wake up time. You see, and let's be fair to these wonderful kids. They've been at home for over a month, for like 2 months now, plus, doing stuff not like the way they used to do when the school was in session. Bedtime has been different. The wake up time has been different. So if we want to, of course, we would have those challenges when the school resumes, but we want to start that now. Yes, we have like a week before. Let's start working on those routines. Study time, screen time especially. Yes, I know many parents would, they would have to, manage this. The screen time. Of course, our kids don't have as much screen time, but once the holiday comes, it's holidays for them to enjoy, right? Now we need to cut back on that because things are going to change. Morning routine. Now, this is for parents, right? So morning routines like, prepare breakfast, they pack their school bags the night before to reduce stress and all of that. So we want to start, thinking about that. And homework, study time. These are some of those things that we want to also start, preparing for. What are the routines we want to build in? And it's also good that, they generally say that kids require like minimum of 8 to 10 hours of sleep each night. If we can build that in, the fatigue of, waking them up and school, yeah, maybe it will be reduced if we build it up a little bit before that time. So I don't know if we have parents who just want to provide some advice, and keeping in mind that some other parents might also want to contribute. So let's keep it short. But at the same time, also, for parents who are just coming in, I have a comment that I might also make if someone doesn't make it. It's important for preparing our, routine in terms of bedtime and morning routines. So does anyone want to go first? What bedtime or morning routines have worked for you, for your family, that you feel you can share?
Nah, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Yeah, with respect to bedtime, for me, what I feel has worked is once they pray their, depending on the time we fall, in the late summer, fall, it is once they pray their Maghrib, because my kids are still young, so we ask them to pray Isha, even in the summer, and they go to bed. Once they pray their Maghrib, they pray Isha. So usually by, depending again, around 8, by 8, they should have started brushing their teeth, something like that, getting ready. And even if they get on bed by 8:39, then they can sleep. But in the winter, when we pray Isha at 6, 7, anytime, we still try to keep it to that 8. But the idea is they have their alarm, but they are kids. So something has to remind them. Once the alarm rings, then they know, oh, everything has to be rush. Only one objective, bed. But to wake up, I think they used to the alarm that anytime alarm rings, they have to wake up, either for morning class on Saturdays or going to school. So it's more or less like trying to keep them alarm. And that is usually about 6:30.
Yeah.
If for the first few days they are moving fast, but if we realize they're a bit getting slow a bit, then we shift it to 6:15. So between 6:15, 6:30, so that they can do their house chore, read whatever they are memorizing and prepare for school.
MashaAllah.
It has worked very well.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you for sharing this, Dr. Ahmed Lasisi. And I learned two things from you now. Using alarm clock remember that time when we were young, that this alarm clock that's kekereba, I remember I saved to buy it because the one that was brought for me, I broke it somehow. And
Yeah, I always say that one thing I forgot to acknowledge in my PhD thesis was to look for the inventor of alarm. Whoever invented
wow,
it.
mashallah.
There's no need trying to stress yourself. Just set alarm.
Set
You
alarm.
get used to it.
And we are also training them. So we are training them to how to organize, because the alarm helped me from childhood understanding that if you have a plan, you'll be able to do something. What time do you set your alarm to? So if I fail to set my alarm, that time it's not like now that we have digital alarm. You will turn it from the back, you will see what the time is. You understand, then you wait for it. So it's a good one. Another thing that I think we can also take away from what Dr. Amela Sisi mentioned is trying to be flexible with the routines. Like, okay, let's try this one. Let's see how it works. Okay, we shift the time a little bit. Two things I wanted to mention. So if anyone is raising their hands, I may not see them. So, Dr. Ahmed Lasisi, if you see anyone raising their hand, please just let me know. You can just call out the names. One thing that I want to mention, which you mentioned also to an extent, is the time change in winter. For those of us that are new, we just want to keep it at the back of our mind. Two things. The time is going to change in winter, November 23rd, I think, or November 3rd. So we're going to lose 1 hour for those of us in Winnipeg or the areas where the time changes. The second thing is that, screen time is important. You see, if you want to manage bedtime for the kids, if their bedtime is 8 o'clock, 8 p.m., for instance, don't let them watch, the screen till like 7:59 or 7:55 and say, hell yeah, it's 8 o'clock. That's why they will be restless. You don't give them time to wind down, number one. Number two, that has been confirmed in many studies, even for adults. And for many people that have problem with sleeping, right? It's one of those things they would advise, screen time. So if you want to sleep right after leaving the screen, your brain is still kind of processing that, exposure. Is going to take some time to wind down before your brain will be able to process sleep. So just in case this affects, it may be a bit easier for kids, but we also don't want them grumbling and then you start, dragging. Let them stop all screen time before it's even their bedtime. And then going to bed will be a little bit, easier. Sharon. I can only see one person raising hand. Aziza Ajeni Fuja. Is it pharmacist? If it's not pharmacist, I want the kids to keep their questions till when we are done. So if it's Abdullah, then you can mute and say your point, please. Okay, I think it's Abdullah or Mariam. All right, so we can move on to the next slide if we don't have any other recommendation here. School supplies. This is one of the things we need to plan for. So, let's try and get, I know we'll be thinking getting necessary clothing, lunch boxes, backpacks, winter gears. You see, this one is very important, and especially for the newcomers. You don't want to wait. So I'm talking about the winter gears here, right? You don't want to wait till it is, winter, then you start shopping for winter gears. What they do, if you go to stores now, you'll see those stores are already having those winter gears. You want to go there, talk to people who have been here, what you need to buy. Get those winter gears, let's see how it fits for them. When it comes to the rushing period, when everyone is going to buy something, you may not find what you want, or the costs, everything might just be too overwhelming for you. So, and there's also another advice here that we shouldn't, go at the last time, don't go shopping at the last minutes. That's part of what add pressure to us. A few days before resumption, so maybe resumption is Monday, now Friday, you're now going about the stores, you are sweating, the anxiety is high and all of that. You don't see what you want to buy. Try to do it ahead of time. May Allah make it easy for us. This one is also.
If I may comment on that.
Yes, sir, please feel free.
One thing I would suggest is, especially for those of you who are living in Winnipeg, for the kids, we really need to watch out for very good winter supplies, and be sure that they're always putting it on when they go to school. Yeah, if you really want something relatively cheap, what we have always done, even though sometimes I tell my wife, "Oh, you're buying this thing," but she's a better manager. We would always buy our winter gears at the end of winter in preparation for another winter, because we know we're going to buy this thing and these people are now selling 60% off. So I know I'm going to buy it anyways. So then I buy from the quality one, which is relatively cheap, but of very good quality. So that way, but if you are buying now, you probably pay almost twice as much as what I have paid in April or May. So I think maybe something we could always have in plan if we're living in areas that are cold. That's for the next session, if they have outgrown what they have, buy it in summer, in spring, when they want to get rid of it, and it will be useful for you in the following session.
Inshallah.
But that advice is not for big boys anyway, it's for people like me.
And if I may add to that, this is the best time to buy fall wears for next fall for the kids.
Yes. So I think the logic here is that the best time to buy a particular cloth is when that particular season is ending. And I think we learned the trick sometimes some years back, because we just suddenly realized, just like the two of you have mentioned, Dr. Ahmed Lassisi and Dr. Hakim Aziz, we just realized that these guys are selling these things at very cheap prices because so they want to just sell it up because the season is already ending. You just take a look at your kids, look at the size, and you can easily assume like by this time they will grow this much, and then you buy. It's usually cheaper by that time. One thing I want to say here that would help, especially for those of us who are feeling overwhelmed, it is important to have a checklist. I have known that checklist helps a whole lot in reducing the stress. Part of what adds to our stress is the mental calculation, the entropy in your head where you're trying to, because you don't have everything laid out, organized. So because you don't know what is on the list, you've not articulated and categorized what you need. And in the order of priority, there's always something bugging you. But if you have a list, and if you have a list and you even have an idea of when you want to do it, to a large extent, it relieves the stress. It's not going to take it away, but to an extent, inshallah, it helps. So the next one is communication with teachers. Parents, this is important. It is critical to visit your child's school at resumption. For those who are new, try to visit the child's school before resumption. Try to understand the route. When the school is resuming, allow your child to become acquainted with the new classroom, with the teachers. It's always a sign of confidence when you go with your child to meet the teacher for the first time. You see, the child is not feeling just thrown in to the den, quote and unquote. It's never like that, right? So it's not like there's always that confidence that comes when a parent follows a child to meet the teacher on the first day of school. It is important. I can't stress that enough. Try to find a way to meet with teachers one-on-one. I know it's difficult. One of the things you can do is, even if it's not the teacher themselves, who is the coordinator? Let them put a name to the face of the parent of the child. If your child has any special needs, maybe allergies, learning support, religious accommodation, that is also important, especially for those of us whose kids are not are not attending a Muslim school. So you want to talk about things like halal diet. If they give especially for children, many schools, many places, daycares, governments, sponsored daycares, they will give them food. You want to let them know, and they know this already. Don't feel shy about talking about it. You want to let them know that, oh, we are Muslims, we eat halal. A lot of time when you say you are Muslim, in fact, they would even answer it for you. Oh, okay, you guys don't eat pork? Thank you, we don't eat pork. So bacon, no. So, and then they will ask you, okay, what more do you have any allergies? No, you can give them milk, you can have eggs, but this and that. And then it's always very, very important you want to do that. So I think those are the things. We want to be proactive in checking, emails and notices. I want to mention something here from my experience, and I know some of us will laugh at me. Why I said it's important to, especially if it's the first time, you don't want to go to a new school for the first time on the first day, right? Go to that school before the school starts. Go with your child. It doesn't matter if the child is a little boy or or in grade 5 or grade 7. It always brings that familiarity. Go to that school, right? Oh, this is the school. Learn the route together, understand the route. Because I made that mistake. But that's way, way back when we just nearly came. I was taking my son to the daycare, and it was during winter, and I got late because I missed a turning or two, and I was rushing back to work, and I got a ticket, the first ticket ever, and I wasn't even aware. I didn't know that I sped past a camera at a traffic light. Just a couple of weeks down the line, they sent an email. When you have me photo of with a timestamp and how much I have to pay. I can't remember, maybe $70 or something. Or about that time, it was a very big money for me. So please try and get this thing. So, and if you have any contribution, any other ideas, what are the effective ways to communicate with your child teachers? Not only in Winnipeg, actually. For those of us that are outside Winnipeg, please feel free if we have any advice on this one.
Yeah, I encourage everyone to please speak up, especially those who have great experience, so that those who just recently moved in will be able to learn from them. Like, for example, when I talk about the time, the idea of getting our kids to bed actually came from Abu Imran, Doctor. They probably don't know that we learned from them. We're just having a conversation one day, and he said, "Oh, so what's the date? I'm and that has always been a challenge for us with Tamira. And we pick it that we can actually enforce that. And since we just that discussion, since we started, even for us as parents, and I think that applies to most parents here, perhaps when the kids go to bed by 8, that is when you also have your own couple time as well. So it's anyhow you look at it, is a win-win situation. So we encourage that those who have been around to please speak up. One thing I would like to add, which I have always done with respect to the first day of school, is that the first 2 days I start work late, so I take 2 hours off. Sometimes I don't even go to work for the first 2 days. So I start 2 hours late, then close like 2 hours before time. So I'm always there like an hour before closing hour. So that's way, I familiarize myself with everything going on. The teacher sees me. I'm not in a hurry, so if I have to discuss, that means I have 3 hours windows
Thank you,
to have
sir.
any discussion with the teachers. So if anything I have to say, there's no like I have to get back to work quickly. Just a free time for me to use.
Benny. Jazakumullah khair. I know Ustaz Amobi, you are raising your hand. I just want to say this quickly. You see, look at the picture that we have in this place. You can imagine the little boy meeting, a grown-up man. It could be intimidating, it could be scary. Now imagine how that boy will feel if his dad or his mom is just standing right beside him. It's going to feel confident, comfortable. You understand? Just like Abu Amira said, the first day of school, it's okay even if you don't go to work or if you go to work later. They understand. Get to the school, settle in with your child, understand the space together with them, ask the questions. Where is he going to drop his, bags? Where is he going to, do you have a name for his locker, or for our locker, things like that. It brings confidence. It also creates rapport between yourself and whoever is, in charge in that school. So, Ustaz, please go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sorry, I just want to, add to what Doctor said. This area you are talking about, I think, I mean, this is not religious something. I think that Imran should have been the best person to handle some part of this thing. I mean, Abu Imran. Because I remember when we just arrived here, then he normally say something, but some of his friends, they normally call him one that Imran, when they come down, because everything they want to use during winter. But he made sure that by the end of previous winter, so probably a month, so that's time normally buy something like they need to use during winter. Then this area, I think you can ask that Imran to say much about this thing. He knows better about this area, although they call him that time. But now Doctor is now saying something that he borrowed some idea from me also. I think he knows better about this area. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Wa alaikum salam. Baba, kí ló dé èmi kékeré mi.
Not to put you on the hot seat too. So as we are going through the slides, please, Abu Imran, we need, because no, seriously, Baba is not the only first person that will mention your name. Dr. Ahmed Lasisi has also mentioned your name. So, and like he rightly said, I know we had this, on our chat platform a couple of days back, that this is something that we can discuss, and it is not an afar discussion, right? So you don't have an excuse, sir. So please, share your ideas with us. And we would also be getting, in fact, the next one is an area that we would also want you to talk about, because you manage the extra, moral classes with the other brothers and sisters. So if you have any comment on this one, otherwise we'll move on to the next slide.
I think you've touched most part on this. Let's move on. And like Dr. Lasisi said, let's have routine time for the kids. It's very, very important. So that we can have time for ourselves. So like the way I do, 8 o'clock, the kids has to be in bed. 8 o'clock, they have to. If they like, they should be talking wherever they know they cannot come outside. They have
to be on the bed.
Blah, 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 blah. And after that, they will sleep. And that'll be the time for me and my wife too. We can sit down and think about our life and just think about study and anything, or watch movie or anything. That will be our mean time too. So, and it also helps the kids too. It's not like they will go to bed late and in the morning they will be tired. No, I make sure that they have enough rest by going to bed early, and that helps them the following day to get active too. So it's like Abu Amira said, it's win-win. They win and we also win.
It's a win-win situation. Thank you. Yes. So this is another one, extra learning at home. This one, the simple way I would describe it is that be involved with your kids. There are online tools. There is Mathletics for extra practice where they can practice mathematics. They even have gaming options there. Let's encourage them to read Quran, age-appropriate Islamic books alongside their book reading, just something to engage them still. And at home, we want to teach them values. We want to teach them dua. This dua that is here is very, very small. Rabbi zidni ilma. Even if that is what they will learn, that you have to pray. In addition to this, we're looking at, and Abu Imran, you're in a better position to talk about this. Education here, we cannot leave our kids to it.
Yes.
Benny. So please, if you can shed more light on this.
Okay. Education here, the curriculum is kind of different from where we came from. That is fact. And this place, we cannot say, oh, let's let the system will take care of the kids. They have, if you go to especially government schools here, you will see excellent buildings, beautiful buildings. You go inside, you marvel. And the first thing that might come to your mind, see buildings, see Gidiko, see you lay 1 or 2 courses on the home country. But all that glitters are not good. So you understand? So they have their own lapses too. And the lapses that they have is that parents has to be fully involved with the development and the academic of the students, of the children there. If you are not involved, they don't enforce anything here.
But you always
I said I don't want to do assignment. Okay, no problem. We move to the next kid. If the kid say, oh, I don't want to eat food, it's okay. To them, everything is okay. There's no discipline because they don't want the child to later claim that he's being intimidated or damaged mentally, blah, blah, blah. Mental stress is a big thing here. So they are always careful. So far, they do their minimum. Have I talked to him about this? Yes, and that is it. They will stop there. So the onus is on the parent. Try and enforce things. Like, okay, you go this, do you have assignment when you come back from school? You're checking assignment. What have you done? This. You have to always keep on the toes with the kids. And another thing that I notice when I go to people's places to visit, I said, oh, let's go to YouTube, because my kids will say, oh, they want to watch cartoon. So the first thing I notice is what are the recommendations, like these algorithm of YouTube, they will
yes.
And that shows what the kids have been watching.
What they're consuming.
Watching. So there was a parent that we visited recently. I just told him, well, this thing, based on the recommendation, it seems your kids are not watching the right cartoon or the right information on the right show on YouTube. Even though it's YouTube Kid, but this algorithm that is recommending for you is not the right one. And the parents actually they appreciated my concern, and they said, okay, I said, then these are the list of things that they can be watching. And also always ask the children when they are watching something, what are you learning from this? If they cannot explain what they are learning, then that means they are watching nonsense. They should be able to gain one or two things. Oh, what is this cartoon teaching you? Is it about animals? Is it about how to obey on traffic rules? Is it about how to... There are so many cartoons that teaches them about several things about the world. You understand? But they have to be able to say this is what they are teaching. And if you watch it too, to spend some time with them, watch their own cartoons. Even just sit down, just be looking at it with one side eye. Or don't be far from it. Be listening to the conversation that the cartoon are making. So that you too will say, oh, they are making sense or they are using vulgar words or something. So we should be involved. We have to be involved. We should be involved. And I have some list of cartoon shows that I can on YouTube. I can share it.
Please, so if you can, maybe on the chat or something. Please.
Yes, I'll put it on the chat. So that if it is science, if it is math, if it is geography, history, everything is there. For the Islamic one, I think we all know that those ones are the Islamic one. We normally watch story about the prophet, but they have those ones. But the one I focus on is what are you watching? Science wise, math wise. And cartoons, there was a time when we just came here too. We were watching cartoon. Was it not Masha and the Bear? Initially, I was just looking at Masha and the Bear. Okay, the Masha was tormenting the bear. Later, I just realized that Masha and the Bear, what is this one teaching? And the kid will just be naughty because that Masha in that cartoon is very, very naughty. That's true.
That's really true. That's really true. I think Abu Abdurrahman is raising his hand. Abu Abdurrahman, please.
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Now, jazakumullah khairan to our doctors for this interesting conversation. I just have a couple of questions. And then before my question, I think I also have probably my own kind of experience as regards to what our doctors have said, which is around the first day in school. I think my own approach aside just to the first day in school, which I think that's really shown me a lot of things. Aside the first day in school, maybe throughout that week, most of it, I always make sure before the term ends, every month, I make sure I go into my class, my kids' classroom to meet the teacher and have a conversation around. That is before their normal regular parent-teacher meeting. So I kind of meet them and ask, okay, yes, you get this. How is he doing in class? Okay, this is how he's doing in class. What can we work on together? What are the things he's not doing fine? What are the things he's doing fine? What can we work on together? Just so we are on the same page and stuff like that. And I make sure I do that every month. And I don't even go to the admin office. I just say I want to see my son's teacher, and I go into the class. I have a conversation. Okay, he's doing. Okay, he needs to do better here. He needs to do better here. So not just limiting it to the first day or first week, of the kids in school. I think that's also my question would be around. I just want to ask our doctor and show Amir, we can also, provide clarity on this, which is around what advice would you give to parents in terms of screen time for kids as regards, and this is actually my question, at what age would you prescribe for parents to entertain kids learning online? Really personally, me, because I'm still laid back, with my kids learning online for a lot of reasons personally to me. And I know I've spoken to Dr. Alice about this sometimes back, which is, said like, kids learning, Quran online, learning taking their lessons online and all the stuffs online. I'm kind of exactly. So if you even look at that, coupled with the number of time they use in, watching TV, watching cartoon, you realize that it's actually a very large number of hours, right, in one way or the other. So I just want to ask our doctors and probably any other person, what advice would you, give to parents, and at what age would you say parents should start entertaining their kids learning on? I'm still Baba. I'm still Ara Okushinimi. So I still really want to
still
learn about.
traditional, right?
Exactly. I'm still very, very traditional kind of, right? So I just want to learn from parents and also from our doctors. What advice would you give to us as parents as regards what time at what age would you say we start entertaining our kids learning online? Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. I want to just mention something, and I will give my own response after the pros I've given this. This is a question that is very important. And the response we want to give, I want us to clarify if we're giving a response based on our experience or anecdotal experience from other people, or if it's a response from research or studies that are done. We just want to identify, we can learn from all of those areas. But it's always good to try to make sure that we're balancing where the advice is coming from on something like this one. Jazakumullah khairan. So I think Dr. Akim Aziz is raising his hand first. If he can help us answer that, as briefly as possible.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
My answer to this is just based on experience, not research or book or papers. Right? So to answer the question, when do we start exposing them to online stuff? I think the right answer to that will be, because we've been, whether we like it or not, learning starts even as Baba Shebiomo. We start exposing to learning from the parent. You talk to the child, he will turn his neck like that. And the moment you start watching, where do they normally start to this one that we sing to them?
CoComelon.
CoComelon, thank you. Immediately they start listening to CoComelon, they've started learning, right? You've started exposing them.
Yes.
Some that are who starts that is the time they start exposing them to Juzu Hammer, even though they cannot memorize or something. But before you know it, they will start memorizing it at that early stage. You understand? So their first word might even be Alhamdulillah. So we've started exposing them to it gradually. But what I need to distinguish is, when do we start giving them control over things? Because learning the way we are today, majorly for convenience sake, is online. Even my kid, they do their Islamia online, everything is online. If you put together where we are living now, it's not convenient in the winter to be taking kids to study somewhere else. It's better to just stay within the comfort of the house and do the learning. But when do we give them access? They can start learning online as early as possible. You just need to control the screen time. Oh, this is the screen time. You cannot watch this screen more than this time. After this, that is it. Go and play with your friend or with your siblings with this. You go and do something physical with your hand. Okay, my letter going is better. You understand? We can control that.
No,
But
so it's more about the control now.
yes, it's more
From
about
experience.
control.
No.
So we're giving them access to things. Then when they can control things by themselves, like giving them phone, giving them this, that will be later. We should delay that as much as possible. But exposing them to online stuff, we can expose them. Just control what you are exposing them to. Like I said, let's get involved. Get involved. Make sure that you know what they are watching. Make sure you know what they are doing online. Again, control the screen time. And I've also put some links of good YouTube videos, science, math on the chat where we can always go there. And the more you watch all these things, the more you will be suggesting quality videos for your kids. And before you know it, they will know so many things that even growing up we do not know.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khairan. Dr. Ahmed Lasisi.
Jazakumullah khair, Dr. Akim. Yeah, you know, you can, you know, and this is where all of us have to be well prepared. You can see when we mentioned about the YouTube channels, we got a couple of YouTube coming out from Dr. Aziz. That means, you know, he has that in the bank. And that is where we all have to take that conscious effort with respect to what they watch online. Again, for me, I'm talking from my experience about watching videos or audio visuals. I know those in the research will say maybe a certain age, but the biggest part of it is we control what they watch. The kids also pick lessons from what they watch as well. So many things they learn from etiquette that they learn from Omar and Anna. Again, we learned Omar and Anna from Dr. Akim Aziz. So many things that they learned from there. But there's also understation, you know, best Muslim and things like that. So you know, what they watch is how they're going to be communicating. That will take tab away from them or phones away from them. I don't really know how that is possible because somehow they will find a way to even grab your own phones. But if you set a timetable, like during school days, my girls know it's weekend. It's not a matter of we are negotiating, but they will still have to take classes online. So it's just a matter of controlling. And so, yeah, that is one thing. I was going to say something again. Then encourage reading, you know, we should also find a way to make sure that we get them into reading. For example, let's say in the morning before they go to school, we can actually ask them, even if it's just a page or what they have memorized in the Quran, or if they want to go to bed, and I strongly recommend this book. It is called The Clear Quran. You know, if you don't have that book, honestly, I would say you are missing. Because the book is, you know, it explains the Quran, breaks it down with stories for the kids.
I think that was the book Abu Sumaya was looking for when we went to when we were in Saudi.
No, you get it's printed.
I told you about the book at the time.
Yes, mashallah.
But
it's in volumes. So
yeah. There's, you know, you read it over and over. There's volume. I know we have volume 1 and 2. Even when they went to their Sunday school, they gave them another volume 1. But if you don't have that book, you understand what I mean by you are missing when you buy the book. So you can buy it online. I will look for the Clear Quran. I will look for kids. The Clear Quran for kids.
Clear Quran for kids.
For
Please,
kids.
If you have the link, if you can.
Yes, I will look for the link. You order it and it will come directly to you. So it's a wonderful book that when they want to sleep, you can read just a page. It could be stories. They will pick a lot of lessons that they will even become your teacher. And by telling you, Daddy, you will read this thing and, you know, things like that. Allah is our face. I will look for the link and get it to everyone.
Damn, ever saying that. So we have another slide that is similar to this one.
Sorry, sir, before you move on. Based
Okay.
on what Dr. Amel Assisi said, if you are in Winnipeg, you might not even need to buy the book. Just get registered with MIA Library. They have all these books, the Clear Quran, the Book of Knowledge by Al Ghazali. These are very good books for kids. My wife reads the books to them every night before they go to bed. And when
Yesterday she never read it to us.
oh, maybe she forgot, but
No.
okay, maybe something. But she practically reads it to them every night before they go to bed. And she will ask them, what knowledge, what information do you understand from this? Tell me the lesson that you've learned from this story. And each one of them, Elias will say his own story. This is what he learned. And Imran too will say, this is what he learned from it. So those two books, you don't need to buy. Just register with MIA Library. Then you have access to tons of books from
And yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Even more books from MIA,
yeah.
Yeah, Jazakum. That's a very good one.
Now,
And
Jazakumullah khairan. Sorry, Amir. I think Dr. Ais also recommended that book to me. I mean, to me, and we got the book via Amazon. And mashallah, that book has been, the Clear Quran. It's been an interesting book to, to read. Not just for the kids, even not just for the kids now, even as adults, it's just quite interesting in terms of the stories and the surah around some of those surah in the Quran. So Jazakallah khairan.
Thank you very much. I think we have a lot of votes for the Clear Quran for the kids now. And what I would say is that, if you can also, for those of us that are in Winnipeg, the MIA Kids Library is a very wonderful resource, right? Habib, kept borrowing books from there. In fact, whenever we want to travel, we would make sure that he borrows some book from MIA library so that when we are going for road trips, he reads it in the car or he reads it in the plane, just to keep him busy. We would have, in case we have other comments, we have similar slide to this one where we want to talk about resources. So Jazakumullah khairan to everyone. We still have quite a bit of slide deck to go. So if you see me trying to cut it short, so my apologies in advance. It's just for us to manage the time. This is 3:36 already. So we are moving to another section, which is emotional and social support. The first thing we want to talk about is communication. I know we've talked about this. When we say, be involved, what we are doing here is we want to communicate with our kids, healthy communication. We want to help them to adapt to new classmates, to the teachers, to even the new environment, which also means that we also need to learn and understand the environment by communicating to them. And we can't know everything. Sometimes we ask them questions. When they respond to us, we tell them what they need to do to adapt. We don't even have to have all the answers. We will talk to people that have been here. We'll talk to Dr. Ahmed Lassis, we'll talk to Dr. Hakim Aziz, Abu Imran. We talk to, in fact, our sisters are not even talking. We have a number of sisters that are teaching, that are in the education field. We talk to them, especially for those of us that are new. Sumaya is an educator. Sister Fatima Jayola, Jabir, she's also an educator. We have a number of them. Ihsan. Why I'm mentioning them is just for the people that are new. Do not think we don't have people you can talk to. Feel free to talk to. If you don't know, just ask me or anyone. We can see what is on the screen. There is culture shock that happens for newcomers. We also need to discuss all of this. May Allah give us the best, approach to this. What is important is that when we communicate with our kids, we want to understand their sentiments. We want to know how we can help them. First day of school, we want to make it memorable for them. And this is one of those things that will make the journey of our kids to be a cheerful one. May Almighty tell and make it easy. So we have a question here. What has helped your child adjust faster when you just arrived? And please, if we can also keep it short, but please let us, provide some of these answers. It's going to help those who are new. So I can go first. And what I would just say quickly is that, one of the things that helped us when we just nearly came when Abi was really, really, a little boy, is even though he was, little, people who know Abi, they know that he likes to talk. So I would ask him question, ask him, in the name of his classmates, making sure that I talk to the teachers also. It will help them to adjust in the environment and try to understand what they need also. So may Allah make it easy for every one of us. We can move on, and if anything comes to your mind. So every other slide after this is just to talk about some of those things to provide emotional support. Let's prepare a safety first mindset. This is important. One of the easy thing to do is, talking to the children about, safety, even from the first day of school. Don't let anyone who you don't know pick you up. If anyone comes to you, talk to your teacher. We also want, for the kids who are already, who can speak, let's try to let them know our phone numbers by heart. You'll be surprised that they will learn it. What I had to do, back then was to even break the number up, right? What's your phone number? What's daddy's phone number? And then before you know it, you already have it. Let them be able to call your name. What's daddy's name? Not your daddy, right? So, and make sure they understand their, surroundings and, some of those things. If they know how to spell their names, the Almighty Allah make it, easy for us. Another thing here is about bullying. We need to discuss bullying with children. Of course, they may not understand the word bullying, but we want to ask them. And a lot of immigrant children, don't let me say a lot, but immigrant kids face this challenge. And it is not strange because they are in a new environment. They will look different for the most part. So we want to ask them questions to know if some people are behaving, some certain way. Is there anyone who threatens you or someone who makes you feel uncomfortable in school? And ask them a bit more question. And once we start getting those feedback, we're not going to keep quiet. We want to talk to the teachers. We want to, talk to the people, the administrators. And, we want to describe it to them also. For little kids, these are some of the things that could be bullying. Something like, okay, is there someone that is taking your things? Or, someone that is making fun of you every time, calling you a different name than you named your fathers gave you or your parent gave you, or someone that keeps saying that I hate you. Those are the kind of things, And we also want to be careful also. There's also another side. You also want to make sure that your child is not the bully in school. So we'll flip the question again. Do you take people's things? We find ways of asking, or if we see something in their hand that doesn't belong to them, don't lie, about people. Don't make fun of people because you're going to be a bully. Don't call people names that do not belong to them. When you start it, they will do it back to you. And some of those things. Abu Abdurrahman, please.
Now, I think just around the bullying, I don't know. I probably want to share not an experience. I just want to probably cite if for new for new immigrants who are in Canada, I would say one thing I noticed is for my son when he started school. Luckily, I think he has some older kids in that school that he knows already. For example, and I don't know if it's also possible for the new immigrants. If you can also get to know parents whom their kids are going to the same school as your kids, you can have that conversation. Like if they are older kids, for example, right? You can just go check on the kids in the class. That kind of provides some level of confidence. And outside this example, for Abdurrahman, when he started school, he rather used to go to his class to go and check on him. And over time, they begin to see the two of them as, how we used to have it in secondary school back then, like we have a school mother, school father, or school sister, or something like that. So, and he goes to Eroda's class. When there was a time he even came out and said, Baba, Eroda is not in school today. I think she is sick. Look, how do you know she is sick? Said, but she's not in school today. Okay, let me talk to the parents. So I'm just trying to say, if it's also possible for parents to also look around and say, okay, within the community, do we have parents whom their kids are going to this same school? If they are older kids, fantastic. You can have a conversation with them. My son is, new in this school. I don't know if you can also always check on him, and just to ease the transition for the kids as well. Not just we leave them in the school, and if they have any challenges, even having spoken to their teachers, they can, easily go to, their, I mean, the person they know and say, oh, well, and just to have people who they can have conversation with, pending the time they get, easily transitioned into that school, and over time they will feel like, okay, if I'm not getting someone to play with now, at least I have someone whom I know outside the school, whom over, things like that. I don't know if that helped, but if you ask me, I think that also provided some level of, confidence for my son, from experience.
Well, it helps. Alexa, thank you very much, sir. That is a very good suggestion. Of course, there is a slide where we'll talk about that, but this is good because we might even forget to mention it. So what I would advise everyone to do, even not just for the new people, right? If your child is starting the school, even if you're not new, if it's a new school, maybe they are switching schools, you can put on the WhatsApp platform if, okay, do we have any parent whose kid is attending this school? Like Abu Abdurrahman said, Oman were helpful. Gan. It helped my son when he changed school. When he got to Ikra, Abdullah was there. Abdullah is his cousin, is his best pal, and it helped him where he felt, in fact, he said it himself. When he came back, like, I like this place. Because we ask him, what do you like about it? Oh, Abdullah is there. Oh, I have friends here. And it gives him a high level of comfort, you know. And it's also helpful if there's a bigger kid there, so that also helps, with some of those things that we're talking about in terms of bullying. May Almighty Allah protect our kids and, do the best for them and us. Allahumma ameen. So we would move on. We've just clocked 1 hour on the program. I'm hoping that we won't go more than the next 20 minutes or 30 minutes. So this is just some of those things that I want to talk about. Like, if you can set up a storage unit in your home, it doesn't have to be a big one like the space here, right? Just somewhere where the kids know that that is where they store their school things, the outfits, the bags, the accessories. It will help make it easy for you and even them to locate things easily whenever they need it. It helps them to get organized. They know that when they get home, don't just throw your shoes around, and when it's the morning, you start looking for it. You know where to keep your shoes. You know where to keep your bag. And if we don't provide the space for them, they are at liberty of throwing it in any place they find. So, if we can get a clutter-free, arrangement, I think that is going to help, inshallah. And please, anyone can feel free to just chip in. This is also similar to what we have on the next slide. If we create a pleasant environment at home, it makes it easy for them to want to learn, right? Look at the kid that's having fun here. She has a little space by the side where she knows that, and I have seen this in the homes of some of the brothers, where I go to their houses, their homes, the kids have a place, no matter how little, and there's something on the wall. What are they learning? And they look at the place, they learn, they go back. And if they make a mistake, you go back, it's on the wall, and we change it. Something like this always helps. Dr. Hakim Aziz, please.
Your doctor, not a mirror.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Assalamu alaikum.
Enough. So, I just want to add to what you said. We should all know that we are raising a future generation. Sometimes I see adults that are very clumsy with things. They don't know how to organize themselves. They don't know how to organize their lives. It comes from boys down. If you go down, something was wrong with their childhood. So we should try our best to teach them to have good organization of things. Their clothes, their bags, their books, even their rooms. Tell them, go and make sure your room is okay. Put this here, put this there. Once you train them how to do it, they will grow with all these skills that we are teaching them. And it will make them to be a better adults when they grow up, inshallah.
Inshallah.
So that is my own contribution to it.
Jazakumullah khairan. And it also even relieves us of the stress, because when you teach them where to keep their things, to move around, they won't stress you out trying to help them. It's a very good thing.
And I would like to add one more thing. And like you said, there should be something on the wall that they are learning. Like for my own kids, I have a big map of the world there for them so that they know the continent, they know where they are in the world, they know this, they know that. As they are growing, they should know all these things. They won't just know about where they are alone, that they are in Winnipeg, and that is it. And they will see on the map where I have this very big map, beautiful one, and they know everything. Like this is where this is the ocean. We should all try to have that kind of things. It might be more another thing, but there should be something on the wall that we are trying to enforce in their memory that they will be conscious of.
Benny. It helps, that's one of the things that help us, where Umo placed some phonic sounds on the wall. It helps, for him to be able to start learning how to pronounce things. And then she changes it once she learns something. I think the message is that just have something on the wall that is, going to help them to learn. Now, all work but no play. After school activities, we also want to create enjoyable after school activities for the kids. Studies have shown that, when they learn and they have, some of these activities, it helps them, to grow. One thing I wanted to, mention here that I forgot to mention about screen time, thank God I remember, is this. There is a study, that, not, a collection of studies that kind of shows that what is the earliest age a child should be exposed to screen. And there is studies that said a child that is limited, that's exposed to screen earlier than 12 months. So, but another study says, 24 months, which means that please do not expose your child to screen when they are less than 2 years old. Worst case scenario, don't expose them to screen when they are less than 1 year old. These studies have shown that it affects, their brain development. May Allah give us the best understanding. I think I just remember to mention that, now. So, and then for those who know, we have taekwondo and karate centers, in Winnipeg. So if you want your kids to learn, you can always, check it out with MIA sites, or you talk to me, and then we'll talk about that, inshallah. Transportation. This is one of the logistic things that we'll just gloss over this one. We need to determine that as we're preparing for school. School bus, car, even to understand your travel time, the routes, just like the example I gave. I wouldn't want people to get ticket like I did, because I thought I knew the route, and it was, winter when it was snowing on the road. So we can switch from here to another segment, which is about Islamic identity and values. We want to make sure that, our kids' Islamic identity and values, remain with them. They do not see a reason to hide it. We want to remind them of Salah times, halal food. You have to be modest, you have to have Islamic manners, right? You don't talk over your teachers. You greet them when you see them. And this is very, very important. For those of us that Allah has blessed with girls, you see, a lot of times, especially if they don't go to a Muslim school, they will go to an environment where they don't see a lot of people wearing hijab. We need to have those conversations. There are some common things. Are your parents forcing you to wear it? I don't know if Umu Akila is here, or Abu Akila. I know that's one of the things that, they have to deal with. And Alhamdulillah, you can imagine someone, or Yibo, and, do you have to wear this? And the little girl, alhamdulillah, mashallah, they've already, she already had that conversation. Like, no, my mom, nobody's forcing me. I love my hijab, right? And, to the extent that, Umu Akila said that she told Akila that if your teacher brings it up, I'm going to come to the school to have a conversation with them. Some of them know that they shouldn't go in that part. But we have also seen situations where, because these girls feel, kind of, unique. Let me use the word unique. They're not like other people. Other people who don't wear hijab. They feel shy. Some of them would even remove it. They're kids, right? So we need to do that reinforcement from home. And also, if they will see any traces of that, we want to have that conversation with the teacher. May Allah give us the best understanding. Dr. Ahmed Lasisi.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Umu.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
I first of all talk about concerning the identity. Alhamdulillah, I have girls. So, and making them to understand the importance of their dressing as a Muslim child is really important, but it has to start from example of the parents. Like they see you as the mom, they know you don't go out on this type of dressing, and these are the dressings you're allowed to be on when you're at home. So they already from basics, they already have that mentality. I'm a Muslim child, I'm a female like my mom, and these are some of the things my mom does, she's doing at home, and backing it with the evidences from the Quran and Hadith while you're talking to them, they understand and they have that basic little knowledge as a child, right? And then like from my own experience, when my first daughter started school, she in the old school, when we're in a small community, she was the only person in the job in the old school. So even if you go pick her up at school, the old teacher in the school knows who you're coming to pick. Like even the kids, when they see, they'll be like, "Are you Amira's mom? Okay, I'll get her for you." So they already know her as that. And then when they see her, they know what is important, especially for the parents that have girls that want to put on a job. Let's make it fashionable for the girls. Like I make clothes, but if I don't have time, I make their clothes from Nigeria. I make sure they have matching hijabs for all their clothes. Like if they wear blue, they have the matching hijab there.
But they feel confident, they like it.
Yeah. So even if they are that, sometimes like just pick this, they'll be like, but dad, it doesn't match. Like they know what matches, they know what goes. And when they go to school, the teachers themselves, they see them, they'll be like, I like their outfits. Where do you pick them from? Like you don't make them to just because they're wearing a hijab, they should be rough to school. They should not be presentable. They should be unique among all other dresses. Like their outfit, their confidence in their neatness and everything. It really helped those kids to like, this is what I'm wearing. I'm proud of what I'm wearing, and I'm proud to wear it anytime, anywhere. So that's really very important. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you very much, and we appreciate that. And something that we'll just quickly talk about here is, you see, the issue of food also comes where don't allow them to feel bad about the kind of food they eat. There are instances where other kids might be, making fun of their food. Some of them don't even do it intentionally, right? We've had situations where, teachers will tell our kids, like, your food is spicy. And then the kid comes home and starts saying it's spicy, please don't give it to me tomorrow. And then we have to like tell them. And then, I think I remember in one instance where I went to the school and I told the teacher, like, this food is not spicy. Maybe someone is telling him it's spicy. This is what we eat. This is our culture, right? So we also want to do some of those, supports, provide some of those supports when it comes to Islamic identity, and values for our kids, explaining what Eid means to them. Talk to them about Ramadan. You understand some of those good things that comes with Islam that we also want to share, so that they don't kind of, look at our kids in a different way, or they don't see a reason. We don't want to give them a reason to want to hide their Islamic identity. They should be proud and be confident about it. Dr. Hakim Aziz.
Naam, Assalamu alaikum. Just want to add, like you said, we should try our best to make sure that they are confident in what they eat too. Like my boy Imran, when he started daycare, he used to eat spicy food, like before daycare, but when he started, we noticed that he just stopped eating spicy food. He said it's too
Thank you. I want to notice it.
Now you normally eat this thing now, and gradually they stop eating. Now we are just enforcing it back, like you have to eat pepper, you have to. But what I missed there was that because I knew it was from daycare that they told them that, oh, this is spicy, and it went into his subconscious, like anything is red like this. Oh, I don't want.
Sometimes you have to talk to those teachers, like stop telling them it's spicy in a very nice way. Like, this is what we eat.
So for some of us that have not missed those opportunities, maybe your children will just be starting in September daycare. Be on the watch out. Make sure that you tell them this is the food that we bring in. It will have red pepper on it. And it's not like it's spicy. That is our own delicacy.
That's our own food.
Yes.
Jazakallah khairan. Thank you. That's that's a good one. We all we are
Please,
in
I
the,
have a contribution too, sir.
okay.
Emma Binu. Talking about food, I have a friend of mine, though she's Christian in Winnipeg, yeah. She said our son went to school seeing all these allergy stuff like that. Then he came home and said, because she like cooking, she like putting crayfish in the soup or stew, whatever she cook. Then the son now came home like, mommy, I have allergy. Oh, I can't eat crayfish. I have a, and she quickly, she quickly told him that, oúnjẹ t'Ọlọ́run dá, eléyìí ò ń ṣe allergy o gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ ni and all that. That prompt, whatever, it actually erased that allergy stuff from the boy's mind. So that's my contribution.
It's a very good contribution. Thank you very much. Aja. I think my wife can also attest to that. We also had that struggle where, at some point your child will just come home and almost everything is allergic. So somebody said nut is allergic. Say, no, I don't want to eat nuts. What do you mean? I don't want pani. No, no, no. It's fish is no, you're not allergic to any of these things. There was a particular food that, just like you mentioned, the mom doesn't agree with him, like you have to eat it. He never had any allergy, he just eats it one day, and then I think maybe he had a tummy ache or so. And then when the people, because he mentioned it in school, everyone was like, oh, you don't even know that this is allergic to people. And then so we need to get some of those, observe those observations, quickly, and so that we can also address them as parents. Jazakumullah khairan. Thank you very much for those contributions. So this is where
Now, just a second before you go.
Yes,
I
sir.
think what we are trying to reiterate at that point is the identity. At the same time, we should also encourage or teach the kids about uniqueness of individuals. So
Yeah.
I think maybe that's what I feel where the message of identity will drive in, that everyone is unique. Sometimes they don't do what you do. So you too don't have a reason to always do what they do. So that they understand that it's not like when you say, oh, don't do this, that maybe they don't take it from the negative perspective, but rather identify that, even daddy and mommy, sometimes daddy likes this, mommy likes this. Just people are unique, that's uniqueness and identity.
Thank you very much. So that's a very good way to describe it. Because we also want to just let them understand that people are different in their own ways. It doesn't have to be like you do what they do and they don't have to do what you do. So you don't start seeing them as bad people because they like to eat some particular food. They like to eat tandoori, for instance. You don't eat tandoori, just leave it for them. Jazakallah khairan. So parental well-being and community support, this is important, because just like so sometimes, a lot of time we are under pressure. We also need to be well so that we can take care of our children. Managing parental stress. These are some of the tips that have been provided, create a family calendar for activities. Whatever we don't have a schedule or arrangement for, it becomes clumsy or it becomes disorganized and it affects us. For the kids, let us delegate chores to them, right? Let the older kids know that they have to pack their own bags. Let them know that they have to do some certain things, set the table so that they don't put too much stress on you. If you have to do everything for them, number one, we're not helping them. Number two, the stress is going to be too much. Everything is not going to be perfect. So, what matters is the more they do it consistently, the more, they get better. Now, this is super duper important, brothers and sisters. We have to take care of ourselves. Regular health, healthy eating, exercise, dedicated time for worship. So, and this is, let's share ideas of, we're getting to the point where we might start getting stressed now. Do we have any tip we want to give to one another for this one? Okay, while we are thinking, we can always go back to that. There are community resources, and we mentioned this like Winnipeg, and we can talk about other locations. The libraries, there are free resources there. I know when we just newly came, they used to have this homework, help back then in this library here in Winnipeg, Pembina. I don't know if they still do it now. They have reading clubs. They even have a mathematics club in the evening. I don't know if they still have it. There are some of these agencies that would have some of the resources, support, and there are extramural classes. And I don't, Abu Imran, if you want to talk to this one, please.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
I want to first of all talk about stress. You said, how do we manage stress?
Aha.
One thing based on my own experience though, one thing I realize is all stresses boils down from, if you totally develop, is financial stress. If you manage your financials well, you can reduce like more than 80% of the stress in your life. You understand? So as a newcomer or people that have been here before, in towing you but to can you go far? Like, do not overreach. I know this is a place where you can, I want to get a new car, you can get this, you can get that, you can always finance everything. And before you know it, all these kobo, the $1, $2, it's just $20 per month. It's just $50 per month. You can finance this. You want to buy new clothes, it's reaching to a point that they want you to finance it. So let's manage our finances very well. Then the lot of things will start making sense, and you live a stress-free life. Like, you don't need to worry yourself too much. If they cannot buy a new car now, just get used one that is okay, that is not giving you problems, just to take you from point A to B. You're not impressing anybody here, and nobody cares. Yeah, even if you drive 2026 car, nobody cares. Yeah, so don't put yourself under unnecessary pressure. And for the kids too, you want to get this. I want my kid to be wearing designer. Don't put yourself under undue stress because you want your kid to stand out. You can get used clothes. You can get, when we came, we went to a thrift store, we get clothes for them.
Thank you.
Once they wear it, that you will not even know that it's from thrift.
No, you won't know.
They look smart in it and everything like that. So to me, what reduced stress for me is once I get my financials in order, yoku, along, she understand. And for extramural, like I said in the beginning, this place we have to get involved. If you are not involved, the system will just put the keys anywhere they want to put them, and it won't be a good place that we want. You understand? So that is the reason we and some of my friends here, we came together and we started the extramural class, and that is from grade 5 to grade 12. So it's normally in the evening. So we have the website, and the application form for this year we come out very soon, maybe by next week. So I put the link inside the chat for some of us that have kids from grade 5 to 12, so we can tag along, and it's not that expensive, just $50 per month. Initially, we were doing it for free for like 3 years or more than 3 years. But for more commitment from the parent side and from the volunteer side, that was why we were just charging a token of $50 per month per child. So I will put the website in the chat, inshallah.
Inshallah, Jazakallah khairan. And $50 is cheap if you want to, for the value that they provide. And so for some of us who know Kuman charges much more than that, and the value they deliver is not as much as high as what Crest. What's the name of the Averroes? Yeah, what Averroes will provide. May Allah assist us. So
I think on that, before you go, on that too, we have discount for if you have 2 kids. I think we charge $80, right?
Aha. So discount.
Yes, if you have more than 1 kid with us, we have discount.
With regards to the stress management as well, I think the parents themselves should also have time for their own lives as well. The reality here is that when those kids are, unlike back home, when they are 18, or something like that. So, and if we don't develop a culture of being spouse instead of being roommates, when these kids leave us at that time, it might be difficult for us to know one another and understand one another very well. So one of the ways we can do this is maybe on weekends, Saturdays, or particular specific time, work with your spouse, work out or play tennis or do some activities. It doesn't have to be perfect, but the whole idea is, creating
Just
time
create that
together,
time.
and that will release that stress for you. I think I found it to be helpful, and I hope people find it helpful as well.
Jazakumullah khairan. Ejalo Nibu raised hand.
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh, sir.
Dr. Alaikum salam.
So I just want to contribute to the stress discussion. And I feel like this is a really important contribution because we are Africans, we are Nigerians, and the way we think is different from the way the economy permits. Like for example, let me just come from the men's perspective. The way táwọn ọkùnrin ṣe máa ń ṣe nígbà míì, like èmi ní baálé ilé, èmi lolórí ilé, I'll go to work, I need to fend for the family. So because of that, there are some things I should not be doing. Like maybe cooking for the house or setting some things in order or maybe bathing for the kids. Báwo la ṣe fẹ́ gbọ́ pé baálé ilé ń fọ̀dí fọ́mọ, all those kinds of ideology. So I think we just need to strike a balance between how we assist our spouses, even the wives. I know that most of the women here, we are working mothers, and we are not just putting all the finances on the men. So in that kind of situation, the men too should not put all the household chores on the women, like and all those kinds of ideas. So we need to, I need láti fi ọwọ́ wẹ ọwọ́ kọ́ ba lè mọ́, àti tọ́mọ ni o, àti kílé dúró dédé ni o, and all those kinds of stuff. It is with the contribution of both parties. And doing all those things like 50-50. I'm not saying that we should share everything 50-50, but some men will just feel like, I need my spouse to tell me that they need help. Like there are some things you need to see by yourself without your spouse telling you. And likewise, the women, like when you see that your spouse is struggling, like without the man even asking you, like it is your responsibility to know that I need to help my husband, because here, once there is a problem, what's the problem? The whole family. There's nothing like it's your responsibility. So it is our responsibility, so that everything will just be in order. Now,
Jazakumullah khairan, Isan. I think you raised a very important point, and I like how you concluded that we have to work together as a team. And what I would like to emphasize, to reiterate, is that of course we live in a different environment. The kind of support we got back home, they are not the kind of support we have here. Back in Nigeria, even though we had washing machine, we had someone who would, do the laundry, complete the whole washing. She would do the ironing. She would, clean the house. At some point, we have another person who does, the laundry. She would just compact them, iron everything, bring them back. Someone cleans the house and stuff, which provided support for the home. When we got here, we're on our own, and we had to sit down and, plan how to manage it as a couple. What I would say is that the husband and the wife has two things. Because we are here, doesn't mean that we'll now start saying things like Ibulawa. And that's the caution to the sisters also, because we have seen that situations where that has led to problems in homes. Ibulawa. So, you can't tell me that, you can't even tell me anything to do. I can do whatever I like. No. Two things. Islam doesn't give us, that orientation. And culturally, it doesn't also, work well. And what is most important is, what Islam tells us, because some cultural things are even wrong, right? For the husband, for the brothers, you need to support your wives. Even the Rasul himself will fix his own clothes. The Rasul will help his wives in the house. And, I remember we read that hadith, we read it a couple of times. The Rasul would not wait until, they say, can we help? The Rasul will go and meet his wives and ask them, what can I help you with? There are things the Rasul would do himself because he knows that, I can do this now. Why should I wait for my wife to do it? So it's about balance. What we want to be careful about is the brothers feeling like, no, even though, I don't care, whatever our culture is, I must, not do anything. No, even Islam doesn't teach us that way. The wife also should not now feel, rara 50-50 new. No, that is not the way it is. That is not what Islam teaches us. That is not what the culture teaches us, right? And when it comes to finances also, it is not wrong when a wife, supports her husband, right? Is a wicked woman that will see her husband, struggling, that would say, Shebo Niba Lele, my money is my money. Of course, your money is your money. So what happens to the partnership that's supposed to happen? Because eventually, it is your home, and whatever fallback happens, everyone will bear it. Some of those things don't happen in the immediate. It festers over the time, and then couples start having issues. Any problem. So that is a good point that we also need to just have, a balanced approach to it. Let's support one another in our homes. Let the husband support their wives. This happens every time. It happens in my own family. It happens with people who we have, how to talk to. A lot of time when people newly come, that conversation happens. I'll be like, come on, yeah, see, this is a different environment. You need to roll up your sleeves and support. At the same time, this wives, the sisters also need to understand. If you start thinking like an average Westerner, it won't work. You're only going to create problem in your homes, which you don't want. So along with one, the best understanding on the best way to approach it. And we should feel free to talk to people who have been here before us so that we don't make mistakes that are avoidable. Allahu Alam. Let us go to the next one. Okay, we've talked about community resources. Now, spiritual anchoring. You see, the first thing that's, I would say, which we all know, just a reminder, is that that's number one. Allah has entrusted them to us. So whatever we need to do, it's not even a matter of whatever I do so that the children will do it back for me. Allah has put them in our trust. We have to take care of them as much as possible. You understand? And that's why we have this beautiful hadith there. We have to make dua for the successes of our children on a daily basis. On top of all of that, we know that we can't get it right. We know that we'll make mistakes sometimes. Let us put our tawakkul in Allah. We'll make the efforts and we'll look up to Allah to help us bless the effort with success. Abi Ọlọ́run bá kó bá bless gbogbo effort with success. This is 1 hour 31 minutes. If there's any other ideas that anybody has, please let us bring it up. Maybe in terms of, if you have questions, please. If you have ideas, we just want to make it as short as possible so that we can round up. And Dr. Hakim Aziz, please.
Oh, can I go ahead?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing, add to what Dr. Lasisi said. Like, the couple must try to understand themselves and know themselves, because once the kids, once they reach 18, you are on your own. Like, this is what I learned from him and his family. They explore where they are a lot, and that makes us to, like, my own family, we learned that from them. We explore anywhere we are to. Like, here in Manitoba, he made us to go to several places. Oh, have you been to this place? Have you been to there? Have you done there? Have you gone to these places? And that makes us to distress and enjoy, especially summer. Yeah, summer break, we normally have where to go. Like, if summer is approaching like this, we have lists of where we want to
Already
go.
have a plan.
Yes, we have a plan for it. And the kids, they always look forward to it. Oh, where are we going this summer? Where are we? You know, we distress. Even if it's just 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we distress and explore. So I think it's a good way to distress.
MashaAllah. Jazakallah khairan. So we have 2 people raising their hands. Let me see if I can see them. I just got a notification. Abu Abdurrahman. I think a sister wanted to talk. Mushan, sister confessor of me more before.
Naam, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Alaikum salam warahmatullah.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to also add to the issue of spirituality and identity, in the sense that we should also try to take our kids to places where they see people that look like them Islamically, so that it gives them a sense of self. It also helps their self-esteem. So they are not just surrounded with the Westerners, quote and unquote. So if from time to time, it even helps us as well when we are surrounded with people that look like us religiously, spiritually. It gives us a sense of self that, okay, we are not alone in this community and we have people that look like us.
No, very good point. Jazakumullah khairan. And it helps. We have had situations where that was even part of the source of the problems, where the kids keep telling the parents, like, they are always put in the environment where they don't see people that are like them, Abu Abdurrahman.
Yes, I think I would also like to share my own experience with stress management. And I think it's what Dr. Aki mentioned this, and I think also Dr. Lasisi also did at some point, which is exploring your environment. I think it's something over time I've kind of seen that it's something that is very good we do, even though some other people might say, okay, let's go, probably explore outside of the province, or you can probably everywhere you like. But something even within the province, within Manitoba, there are places you can explore. And I'm going to cite one example. I think there was a time I personally did. We came up with something like virtually every summer we try to explore places. We have timetable stuffs like that. But there's one particular time we just did. There's some places that are just for spouses alone with no kids, just spouses alone. When you have people you can leave the kids with, for those who have kids, right? You can leave your kids with them, or let's say just 2 nights, and then just only for, in fact, they don't even accept kids. They will ask just spouses. Right?
Honeymoon location.
Manitoba,
why not?
So it's just quite interesting that even when we went there, usually we find time to always go there to just go relax. And interestingly, when at some point we're just even talking about we reflect, refresh, and then we realize we're even talking about the kids and other stuff within the family. So it eases the stress for us, and sometimes we just feel, okay, I think we need to continue to do this because it gives us a sense of us, being together while something like Brahman. Oh, sorry, I'm coming. Okay, really?
Then what can I do now?
I'm coming. I'm on a call. I'm coming.
Assalamualaikum.
So I think that's just one of the things I also like to say, that I'm coming. Go and ask your mom I'm coming. Thank you. So it's I think that's one within Manitoba, and some of these things are very, very cheap. And even the province has during summer, even before summer, you can explore the province. The provincial parks. You get a 2-bedroom, for example, for $50 per day. There are things you can do within the province. And I really want to encourage us to explore those things within the province. There are campsites you can visit, very cheap. 2-bedroom with toilet, with everything you want, it's kitchen, stuff you want yourself, $75 per night. And there are things you can explore in those places. So let us take a look at those, even for the kids as well. Not necessarily even going out, even if you have the finances, to explore outside of the province, fine and good. But even within the province, there are things we can do within the province. Take a day trip, 2 days trip, and stuff like that. And I know Amir is Amir pushed so much a lot. I see Amir as someone every time he says, "Will I love you? Will I love you?" I call him Ajala Travel.
It's good. I like it. It helps. It helps. Alhamdulillah.
So I also have a question. I don't know if anybody can help me answer this question, which is around games for kids. And I know my kids are moving to that age, where I also start thinking, what other things can I do with them? And I really want to ask parents about games, and I know some of our brothers have games, and then really personally.
What do you mean by about game? Are you talking about video games now?
Video games. Yeah, I'm talking about video games.
Okay.
Video games. So what's your experience like with video games for kids? Maybe probably, let's say, parents and kids playing the video game and stuff like that. I've never explored that, and sometimes I'm also very conscious, and I'm also willing to learn and hear parents' experiences with how that's go in their family, about, say, you are playing video games with your kids and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just a question.
So let me answer this, and my response is going to be similar to what we have talked about, screen time and everything. It's mostly about two things. We don't want to keep it totally away from them, we want to, go along with them on that path and establish control. You see, gone are the days where, we'll say TV, if you don't have TV in your house, yes, mashallah. I remember back in the day where, there were even books written about it, the shaitan in the home, TV. Brother Muslim Abdul Ghaffar wrote a book, he did lecture and stuff. You see, that era has gone. I have seen kids whose parents don't even have TVs. And when I talk to them, they know what is going on. They know all these videos, and I'm like, how do you know? You see, because they will find out. And it's better you provide controls. If they don't watch TV, there are online, there's YouTube, and YouTube is just a, bottomless pit, if we want to put it that way. There are other avenues. There are even games. Someone mentioned a game to me, and I'm like, okay. And the person was looking at me, and like, I thought, so let's not go in there. So this is just saying that control over important. And we also want to be there with them so that you don't just discover something. Now, if we want to talk about games, my experience when we were growing up was our parents didn't want to get the game for us. Me and my younger brother will go to other places to go and play the games. May Allah forgive us. We're kids, we're foolish. We do some. So we'll go and play games. We'll even take our money to eat. We'll go and pay it to play those games until our parents realized, and our father now bought the game for us in the house. And he now gave us time. You understand? When you have to play the game, you have to do your assignment. There are times you cannot play the game. And that now sort of helped, right? Just like, so where I'm going with that is, there's a little bit of enhancement that happens if a child plays game to make sense. There are games that even help them to develop, like there are mathematics games, there are games, the science games, quiz games. But the way they structure those games, they learn while they play, which are the areas that we can introduce them to game. There are other adrenaline games, kind of high adrenaline games that we want to be very, very mindful of how we introduce it to them. So again, back to the issue of control. Don't take it away totally where they feel like they're missing something. They are looking for it, even without you knowing that they are getting it somewhere. So they see a kid that has a game because they have never been exposed to it. They get so engrossed on it, and the person even use it to take advantage of them. No, they know what a game is. You play it along with them. Even if you don't play it along, you understand. You limit what they can do. So I think that's what I want to say about the game thing. We have Brad Taiwo Yusuf. We have Akim Aziz. I don't know. I think Dr. Akim Aziz raised his hand for, but because Brad Taiwo Oloruko, so let's allow him to talk. So if we can keep it brief. This whole session has been 1 hour 41 minutes. Well, it's one of the best sessions I like because it's interactive. But let's try and make it brief so that we can close the whole session, inshallah. Alaikum salam, Abu Twins. Go ahead. Múra sí ẹ ṣáà sọ Yorùbá ìyẹn náà dá àwa náà máa ń gbàgbé láti sọ Yorùbá ni wọ́n ti ní àmọ́ sọ Yorùbá.
So from the last questions, maybe I'll just say that so that sometimes only the key èèyàn play game kẹjọ ṣeré so that kò ní dàbí ni pé daddy okay ló máa as in he's up there, he's always busy, he's always, you won't even see ní rí ojú wọn nílẹ̀. When you play with them, you are bonding with them, you are creating family ties that at least when they want to talk about tọ́n bá fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́jọ́ iwájú wọ́n á ní nǹkan kan tó fẹ́ sọ pé nígbà kan mi àti dáàdì mi kí n sọ things that I learned from my dad. Probably my dad didn't go to school, probably primary 6 or less than primary 6, but I can categorically say that he taught me a lot in terms of mathematics. He's a building contractor ni wọ́n. Gbogbo quotation tó máa ṣe láti fi kọ́ ilé gbogbo, even tó máa ti ṣe tán pẹ̀lú àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ wọn, wọ́n máa gbé wá sí ilé, wọ́n máa béèrè pé 1,000 block mélòó ni, cement iye báyìí ni. So and you have to do it off hand. You don't know it, he will teach you bó ṣe máa mọ̀ pé yóò máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti bí eléyìí tó mọ̀. O ti mọ̀ 1 naira 25 kobo, àkọ́kọ́ ṣe 1 naira. tó bá ti ṣe 1 naira 1 naira yẹn divide pẹ̀lú 2 ó ti jẹ́ 50 naira divide 50 naira something like that. When you interact with them ó máa jẹ́ kí wọ́n build the fund, ó máa jẹ́ kí wọ́n rántí èèyàn even ní time tó jẹ́ pé èèyàn need wọ́n gbà yẹn, because if not when you don't have really àti èèyàn bá really ní relationship pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ èèyàn, there is nothing to remember about you, and that ends the whole thing. So why important ká bá wọn ṣeré, ká wọn lọ play ball, ká ṣe anything tá bá fi bá wọn ṣe. On everything tá ti sọ tá ti ń sọ bọ̀ látẹ̀kan, nǹkan tó mo kàn fẹ́ summarize ẹni pé we should not be a Canadian. We should not westernize ourselves, our family, everything. We should not westernize it. In westernizing it is by even us, we are dancing to the tone of the Westerns already. And you now want your child not to dance to the tone of the Western. Don't be like Oyinbo that doesn't have family, that they will use their money to buy everything. They will make money and they spend everything at a go. Don't be like them. Don't go and the peak of the stress that you want to create for yourself is financial burden. Don't create on lọ mú ẹrù tí ó nǹkan tí ó kàn wá lọ́wọ́ tí ó kàn wá lẹ́sẹ̀ àwọn máa lọ fọwọ́ fà á káàkiri, because ìyẹn alone kò tiẹ̀ ní jẹ́ ká rójúráyè ara wa ká tàmà tí wàá sọ pé ká rójúráyè family wa. Ó wà important ká wo bá ṣe fẹ́ balance financial status wa mọ́ lifestyle wa. In fact, if you want to westernize yourself, òyìnbó ràn yàn, òyìnbó ń wọ aṣọ iṣẹ́ wá sí store. So why do you want to look sophisticated, going to boutique, going to all those places, buying things that is too much for you to bear and stuff like that? Mo fi pé I need it, and everybody mo fi pé everybody gbọ́dọ̀ mọ nǹkan tó yẹ kí ọmọ ẹ̀ mọ̀ at every level. Tí o bá ti mọ̀, wàá ti mọ̀ pé ọmọ yìí ó ń lack kankan bí báyìí, ó ń lack kankan bí báyìí. Ìyẹn ló máa jẹ́ kéèyàn mọ̀. Tó o bá wá mọ̀ solution, then you start asking people, mo need assistance bí báyìí, mo need assistance bí báyìí. In terms of Islamic knowledge, Islamic moral, Western education and everything, as a parent you need to know, because o mọ̀ nǹkan tí wọ́n náà mọ̀ nígbà tó wà ní age yẹn, o mọ̀ nǹkan táwọn tó wà ní environment yẹn mọ̀ back home nígbà tó wà ní age yẹn. So tọ́mọ ò bá ti mọ̀ ní time yìí àbí at least tí ò bá máa measure up, wàá ti mọ̀ pé there is a problem somewhere. Mo need láti tètè arrest the problem yẹn, and that is by being cognizant of what is going on within and outside the family.
We shouldn't be absent parents. No.
Jazakumullah
khairan. Dr. Hakeem Aziz, I'm still keeping your hand up, please. Let's give the others Ustaz Mansour Bushar, Eneba Adasi. Ẹ jẹ́ ká keep it to 2 minutes. Please. Thank you for the understanding, sir.
Kí Ọlọ́run ó san gbogbo àwọn tán ti sọ̀rọ̀ ní ẹ̀san rẹ̀.
Àmín.
Gbogbo àwọn blueprint yẹn tí àwọn èèyàn ń sọ, mo pé tí a bá lè stick to them, so á wà nínú àwọn ìjọ èèyàn tí wọ́n build the best generation, tí pé àwọn ọmọ owó jẹ àwọn aṣáájú tàbí tí wọ́n jẹ nǹkan ńlá, tá a bá lè keep sí àwọn advice yẹn. Láti pé àwọn dókítà náà sọ̀rọ̀ tó pọ̀, wọ́n ti ṣe a lot of research, wọ́n ti ṣe a lot of effort. So yes, it may not be their fit, but I think gbogbo àná láti testify sí àwọn pé òótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ náà àwọn nǹkan tí wọ́n ń sọ. So ìmọ̀ràn mi tí màá sọ pé gbogbo àwa tí a wà ń bì, ẹ jẹ́ kí a take note àwọn nǹkan tí wọ́n sọ. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bàbá kan náà ni pé àwọn nǹkan tí a bá wò pé a need more clarifications, ká mọ̀ tìjú tàbí kí ìgbéraga wà pé a ní lọ bá ẹni báyìí, ká pick phone ká yá pò wọ́n pé ok nǹkan báyìí tẹ́ ẹ sọ yìí o, kí ni àtúndì gbogbo ni mo ṣe lè go forward about it, so that a sì lè mọ implement ẹ̀. So lastly ni pé ká kún ní àdúà fún àwọn ọmọ wa. So ọwọ́ àwọn effort yẹn nìkan ò tó o, torí kò ń ṣáà nìkan là ń tọ́ àwọn ọmọ yẹn, no matter how we can get involved, so à ń látún ti commit wọn sí ọwọ́ Ọlọ́run. Bí ìkànnù wa Abu Fauzan, wọ́n ní táwọn bá ṣàdúrà fún ọmọ àwọn pé àwọn ó tún ṣàdúrà fún àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ rẹ̀, torí pé àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ òun náà máa ní impact nínú ìgbésí ayé.
That's a very good point. Wa alaikum salam. In fact, said something very, very good that I'm learning. That's just a learning point for me too. So that's something that we can also inculcate. Kọ́lọ́run má jẹ́ kọ́mọ wa bí báwọn èèyàn burúkú rìn. Àwọn tí ó máa bá rìn, àwọn èèyàn gidi ni Kọ́lọ́run jẹ́ kó máa bá rìn. All right. Last but not the least, Dr. Hakeem Aziz.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
I just want to thank you for organizing this program today. I've learned a lot from it, especially the last part, the last question that Mr. Abu Abdurrahman asked regarding games. That's the thing I've been very scared of getting for my kids. Like, how will they do it? And by the time you spoke about your experience regarding it, I think it has kind of reduced my fear of getting maybe PS or Xbox for in the house. But up to today, I said, they even asked me when they went to their friend's place, they saw game, they wanted, Daddy, when I said, I don't know.
Same here.
I'm just scared of getting it because I don't want them to get addicted to it and but with what you explain regarding it now, I think Ọlọ́run pèsè owó ló ṣẹ́kù.
Ọlọ́run á pèsè owó. Ọlọ́run á pèsè owó. Some people will smile when you said that, Peter. I'm a to Allah. All right. So I don't know, Ustaz Mansour Bushra, shall he release or one year be it's a new hand that you're raising? Okay, I think it's Telenani. We have reached the end. We don't need to go over everything again. The key points have been mentioned there. There is even more from the contribution. And just like Dr. Hakeem Aziz said, I have also learned from the session today. And we appreciate everyone, for everybody who contributed, and even those who didn't contribute, for those who asked questions. We pray that Almighty Allah will bless our homes. Ọlọ́run ò ní jẹ́ kí á jẹ̀bi àwọn ọmọ tọ́lọ́run fi sísàkání wa. Gbogbo àwọn ọmọ tọ́lọ́run fi kẹ́ wa, Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ kí á jèrè wọn láyé, Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ ká jèrè wọn lálìkìyámà. Iṣẹ́ téèyàn ń ṣe tí yóò fi jẹ̀bi níwájú Ọlọ́run lórí ọmọ, Ọlọ́run ò ní jẹ́ á ṣe. Nǹkan téèyàn ń ṣe téèyàn fi ń jèrè lórí ọmọ láyé àti lálìkìyámà, Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ ká lè ṣe. Tó wá dọjọ́ gbéǹde àtàwọn ọmọ àti àwọn ọmọ ọmọ wa pẹ̀lú àwọn òbí wa lájọ wà Jánnà wala la hawla wala quwwata illa billahil azim. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه.